a new cat.
Just like in the game, there are just infinite cats wandering in and out of every room.
Cat. Did I base myself on... This is Winry. She's a Maine Coon.
Yeah.
She's a full-grown cat, but she's only 7 pounds because she's broken just like me.
Oh, I don't know. I only know one big Maine Coon, and they're supposed to be big cats. But all the Maine Coons I know are tiny.
She's broke. She's got broken bits. She's got bits that didn't grow all the way. So she is a little baby. She's a 6-year-old baby.
She's baby. Like, what are you gonna do?
She's just baby-sized forever.
I'm baby.
She acts like it.
All right, we come back to our haunt. Who would like to do anything? I want to say Taylor's just kind of around, so he'll pop in somewhere, I'm sure. He's busy doing stuff, getting away from Lady Snow or whatever her name was.
Yeah. I'm running up to the Lost Room because that's where I went last.
Yeah, we should
my
figure out
intention
what's in the
is my intention is to find Taylor. So if you want to have a scene in the Lost Room.
Oh yeah,
maybe you're just wandering. Maybe you're just wandering and you accidentally find it.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm cool with this.
You like face through a wall that's supposed to just lead you to like wherever, and you just end up in this room.
Who's got the Lost Room?
I do.
Oh no.
That's why I wanted to go so bad. Okay. Hang on. My music is too high in my ears. There it is. All right. The Lost Room. So I'm going to describe the room and then we can figure out where we are in it. So the aesthetics of this Lost Room. Oh, wait. I did have you did send me the description of the Lost Room. It's just it's so very... Okay, there we go. Memories deemed precious are hidden away in puzzle boxes and secret compartments. What is left to stay hidden forever remains here in the Lost Room. Sometimes, through intention or accident, a haunt loses one of its rooms. It forever belongs to those who haunt the house, never to be reached by the living again. It is here where time is frozen, cracked, and heavy with memory.
Ooh, yeah, this is perfect.
Terrible, terrible room. Let me tell you about this terrible, terrible room. So the aesthetics of this room... Oh, I forgot about the aesthetics. Okay. In this room is a small shrine to an old and starving godling. This takes up a fairly decent corner of the Lost Room. Nearby this shrine, kind of on a half on a table, half on the floor, is a witch's spell left half unfinished, leaking wild magic from everywhere. Also in this room is never dark because there are dozens of candles everywhere, lit by a ghostly fire that glimmers in the dark. So it's never really dark in this room. A few unsolvable problems are also in this room, such as objects, walls, and entire rooms rearrange themselves in response to our emotions. And the memory eater sleeps, its many eyes opening when we dare to remember. Which is a great thing for what I intend to do with Taylor in this room.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I want to say Taylor, I want to say Taylor gets there first. Because Taylor was just kind of walking away from Wes, trying to get away from fucking duel with... But Taylor's had a weird day because his favorite book fell on the ground, and then he saw a page from it and fucked him up a little bit, and then he saw his friend was bleeding, and then he started bleeding. This has been a bad day for Taylor overall. Pip won't shut the fuck up! Pip won't shut the fuck up!
Lady Snow!
And, Taylor's just kind of floating through rooms. Like, you just see him kind of, like, skulking, floating through rooms. Everybody kind of gets a glimpse of him as he just kind of, like, dejectedly floats, and then eventually he just kind of happens into the Lost Room. And it's interesting because it's like he goes through a wall he's already gone through twice, but this third time he goes through it, he's suddenly in the lost room, and he's like, where am I? And I want to say, do I have a move?
I also think there's no doors in this room. No, like actually, like tangible doors, other than obviously one secret passageway that we know about. That maybe sometimes doesn't lead here. Who knows?
I think I'm going to use
also the wallpaper. And I lied. There's no wallpaper on this. This is just really old wood. This doesn't even look like it should belong in this house is the problem.
I am going to use a vulnerable thing, and it says, ask, can you tell me about one of your memories? And I want to say he's had a memory spark. He doesn't know all of the details, but the things he remembers are a bunch of red robes, something outer black, something consoling somebody in the attic, something a knife, something running, and then lights. And he's trying to remember what happened and trying to put all those pieces together.
I think as you do that, kind of in like the only dark corner of this room, that's regardless of how many candles are in this place, it's always dark. And you just, maybe not you, but the audience, the camera sees just like one little slit open up just a little bit. And you can kind of see just like slight reflection of an eye.
Oh, I hate it so much. Yeah, it's interesting for Taylor because whenever Taylor finds himself in this room, he's not paying attention to the room at all. He's kind of in his own headspace whenever he finds himself in this room. It's like this room is his mind palace almost. But like he does physically go to a lost room. He just doesn't ever realize he's in there because he's so lost in his own child mind that like he's just thinking about things, trying to piece together the dots of his memories. Yeah.
I think on the way to this lost room, I think also Dander is going to, I'm going to do the exact same thing actually. In this like spiraling, passageway up there, they recall that this feels familiar, like they've done this before. They've run they've run through this passageway before, but they were different. Probably they felt different. So maybe they were different. Or it could have just been the same Dander. But even the name feels strange, connected to this memory. As they burst through, as a trapdoor opens from the floor, and they like pop their head out, even though they don't need to. They're a ghost, but they kind of like go for their head out.
You see Taylor's floating there, but he's covered in blood, like dripping with it now, as his eyes are completely white, and he's holding like what looks like a kitchen knife, and he just kind of keeps chanting, "The outer black demanded a sacrifice, and it was my turn to help the family." Like, it doesn't even sound like his voice or anything, and he doesn't even realize he's saying it, as he's just, like, dripping with blood and floating, like, to the left.
I think, like, my ears will, like, go back, and I'll kind of, crouch and like go over towards you, and I will use another vulnerable move and reach out and show how much I care by saying, "Taylor, are you okay? You don't look so good."
Taylor immediately, all the blood disappears, the knife is gone, and looks at you, "Kitty!"
Ah!
It's like creepy how fast it happens. It's like you see it kind of like that quick, and that's how fast it goes away. Where are we?
I don't know. Well, I say that. I feel like I kind of know. Maybe. Like, it's weird. I almost remember what this place could have been. I actually wanted to find you. Skelly downstairs, this skeleton cat, said that you've been
The what?
the cat?
You
Skelly?
talking about the weird thing with like 3 eyes and a big grin?
Oh, no. I would never talk about Vale ever to anyone ever.
There's only
No,
like 3 things in the
Skelly.
basement.
Right, Skelly's one of them. Have one walking around?
We can't
No.
see Skelly, right? Or we can only hear
Correct.
Skelly?
You can
the
only
thing?
hear Skelly.
There's a-
I'm the only one who can see Skelly.
Keep going.
Anyway, they were saying that you were down by the, in the basement a lot, and you light some lights by the kind of screaming circle. And I wanted to ask about that, because I remembered the screams. I've heard them before. They're one of the few things I can actually remember, other than just a different name. But, does that circle mean anything to you?
It's I mean, when we'd come here, that was where we did our daily prayers. So every other day I
Your
go
prayers
down there.
have screaming?
We don't scream when we do the prayers. We just kind of give the pit a blessing, and it keeps the family there, is what I've been told.
What kind of things did you put in the pit?
Well, he's trying to think of for a minute, and it like kind of starts to come to him. You see like blood start to kind of come from his forehead and stuff. It was. I don't want to talk about it.
Sorry, but I do, because it might be important for me to. Taylor, I don't think I was always a cat.
What?
There's too many weird memories in my head, and none of them are from a cat's perspective. I don't think I was a cat.
How are you a cat now? Can I change?
I don't know. One of the last things I remember is the screams that are over by the scream pit.
Are there screams to you?
Are they not screaming to you?
What's the memory eater doing?
Yeah, can we get a quick check on the memory eater?
The memory eater has, in fact, this entire time, we've been focused on the conversation between the small child and the small cat figure, and it like rack focuses past them, and you can see this entire corner of shadow is now basically kind of like a spider web coating of eyes that are all just watching.
Quick check on. All right.
Why do you eat? My son is causing crimes. He's eating my chair.
I mean, it's where we put those who saw the light. That's what Dad said.
Does the name Ash mean anything to you?
He's trying to think for a moment, and he can't really think. No.
As you are like focusing and thinking, there's like this zipper almost effect as like this mouth and these teeth, this very one long mouth in between all of these eyes just starts to appear.
He looks over at the wall. Pip. Oh, that's
Secret
not Pip.
form.
We should And then Taylor just kind of like goes backwards through the wall.
Before you leave, before you go out, there's something that you see, and okay, This is a special thing. Pardon me, sir. Thank you. And it's one of the like gray boxed things, so I don't know when we're supposed to do these or if we're supposed to. I don't remember. I don't care. It's called offer proof of the life once lived. We once lived. As you like back up to try to get out of here, in and amongst like the witch's spell craft, you see you and Dander at the same time actually see it. You see a box, a small like metallic like gold or bronze or some kind of, maybe it was gold at one time and now it's super tarnished. Fairly intricately detailed like little clasp metal box that's sitting on this table. The box itself, Dander will kind of like see it and like keeping an eye on the corner will kind of like scamper over to it and like nudge it with their nose and say, "Hey, I know this box. I left this box here for something. And I want to ask you, how is this object related to your past too?"
Oh, easy enough. Do you knock it off the table to open it?
Yeah. I'll just kind of like nudge it.
Inside is a knife. It looks like the knife that you sometimes see Taylor holding.
Oh. You get a token for that, and I hate it.
I gotta go. And then I go.
Yeah, I'm just imagining firing the floor. I'm like, oh, I gotta.
Yeah, it just there's like blood on the wall as I leave. It just kind of drips.
Dander kind of looks over to the many eyes and the mouth that's just getting wider and wider, and they don't typically like phase through walls and stuff. They don't really care to do that too much. They try to really live into in the cat life. But I am going to I'm going to use one of my ghostly abilities with great consequence. And kind of run in the general direction that Taylor went and turn into smoke. Kind of like as I'm running, my shadow is kind of staying behind where I was and is like stretching out really, really long. And then it turns into smoke, and as it catches up to me, the rest of me turns into smoke and I disappear. I'm just not going to end up where I think I'm going to end up. Lost Room is scary and great, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
What's Charlie up to?
Yeah, that's just trying to. I think, having seen the reaction to the little leaf of paper that was out of the Bible, or our religious tome, from who was clearly Taylor's friend up there in the attic. Charlie's on a mission to kind of figure out what the deal is with that, starting by using a vulnerable move of using a ghostly ability with great consequence to possess and control any doll in the area. He knows that's a real big book, and he's not going to be able to carry it in this form. So I'm trying to think, like, I want it to be like one of those like old school like 90s like robot toys that's like moves around and maybe got like tire treads or something, so it can kind of go downstairs a little bit, and it's just got like little like claw arms that's going to be able to pick up the book. I'm gonna say like possess and control is like he can like kind of bring it along as a familiar, essentially. It's just like we're on a mission. He just like grabs one of the non-sentient toys from the attic and like heads out towards the study. I'm trying to think of what the to great consequence this is gonna be, but we'll see. Maybe that's a coming up thing. But he's grabbing the book and much as we just learned in that previous scene, has some thoughts about the sigils in it and the ones relating to the basement. So he's headed down there to the scream pit to see how that's going. So yeah, just like I think we maybe open on as Taylor has like phased into the secret room or the lost room. It's just Charlie walking along with like the little robot with the giant tome. Like in the background, we see that like just chance passing each other as he heads down to the basement, where I guess, depending on how the timeline is working out, Skelly and Vale are chilling out at the scream pits. Though I guess I can't see Skelly.
That's true. Yeah, you do see Vale, unfortunately.
Yep, you see Vale. Vale sees you and leaves and walks up to you. Oh, Charlie, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going great, Vale. Actually, you know what? I think Charlie is a big fan of Vale.
Yes.
Oh, can I say I'd like to think the great consequences we get down here is like, Charlie starts saying hi to Vale, and he's got this like robot monster hauling this book, and has got it semi-possessed, and it's got some sort of like, kind of like vision eye thing with some sort of like radar vision, and he's like looking through it as he's guiding it along, and can like see it's like a heat vision or something that we see, and can kind of see the outline of Skelly, can like tell something's there, which
is really funny because Skelly also is made out of bones which have no heat.
Yeah, true.
Which I think is pretty
it's not
great.
like heat, but it's just like it's some sort of like
an infrared, not
infrared type
almost,
of
yeah.
sonar.
Sonar.
There's like a blob there that, like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe it's got sonar, just those its little beeps and boops. And he's like, "Hey Vale, hey, has there always been a blob over in that corner?"
Yeah, that blob just stays there and is annoying all the time.
Yeah, why is it cat shaped? It's not Dander, right?
Yeah, no, it's just like that. Dander left. We had a great chat. It was, Dander really opened up to me and said I was a best friend. So really,
that's great. I know you and Dander, like you said, the Dander is sometimes a little cold with you, so that's good to hear that you two are on better footing these days. Hey, do you mind if I use the screen pit for a bit? My friend here has I gotta really look at these sigils to see what's going on with Taylor.
Yeah, just really have a free run of the screen pit. Go bump into whatever over there, and if it feels like something, it's probably nothing.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, perfect. Hey, can you read this? And like I like have the robot drop the book down and like I don't know, like leaf through pages randomly. Like, any of this meaning anything to you, Vale?
Vale's third eye glows in his mouth. It opens for a minute and just like noise comes out, like an echoing scream, and then it closes it. No, I can't make out a word.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I was actually gonna say I think Vale can actually.
You might be lying. Vale is ridiculously untrustworthy.
It did just scream weirdly after seeing it.
As an aside, there's a third cat here now, and so now the trifecta is complete. We have 3 cats in game and 3 cats in real life.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect. But you got this. Good boy.
Incredible. Is that one Vale or is that Skelly? It's hard to say with the first still on there.
This one's Skelly. Well, kind of, if Skelly has 3 legs. It's probably close to Vale, because it's...
Skelly could have 3 legs.
Have 3 legs. Yeah, Skelly's just all bones.
What are legs?
No!
Legs forever.
Skelly just scoots along the ground.
Skelly's just a stump.
Just doing like a weird like tail like inchworm thing, just so
like a snake.
Just like half a leg on one.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sad.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna gonna get this book over by the scream pit. Hey, what are these screams sounded like to the two of you who apparently have connections to, like, is it intelligible? Is it literally just shrieking? Is it? It sounded like maybe from Taylor. This is potentially some sort of chanting, maybe.
It's worse than that.
Worse than that. Okay.
So the screams that I hear, I specifically can only hear one scream.
Okay.
And it's one that like is like cut off prematurely.
Mm. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna. Taylor's what Taylor hears. I don't know if we'll say like. I don't know. I guess maybe Skelly would have heard these and stuff like that because I don't know when I'd reveal this for the rest of this game or whatever.
I guess I don't know if I hear the same screams as you all do, though.
You definitely
Maybe
don't
it's
hear
the
the
thing.
screams Taylor hears because whenever
Yeah.
Taylor goes down there, all the screams say. They're all basically calling out directly to Taylor and saying him by name by asking him like, "Come on, Taylor, let us out. You're a sweet little boy. Let us back out. Come on, Taylor, please, please save us, Taylor. Come on, please." And like they really beg to be let go because they think they can trick Taylor into getting out because he's a little boy. So.
Yeah. So I like go over to the scream pit and I'm trying to think of then. What screams do I get? Because you seem like again, it is really a scream Rorschach test.
Yeah.
So I, you know what? Maybe I like. Just it's like a cacophony of just like random like unintelligible screams when I get over there. I'm like, Vale, Taylor ever talked to you about the scream pit? What? He seems to like really be into this whole thing, and he likes this book. And the symbols on the book and the symbols on the screen pit.
Taylor comes down here a lot. He's really quite friendly. What does he? Sorry, what was your question one more time?
Does he ever tell you about why he's down at the screen pit? Why he loves this place so much? He just like really seems to like it.
Yes, I think I do know. Yeah,
I know that. I know that smile.
Yeah, okay. What does he talk about?
What's your relationship to Vale, actually? I guess is maybe the question.
I think I'm gonna use one of the once per session moves for this.
Oh heck
place.
yeah.
Oh yeah, well Taylor, I mean, I think Taylor has a pretty strong connection down here. And as he's like Vale's beginning to say that, we hear like scratching coming from like the cement wall and the floor. And then it begins to like bow out like towards us. And you hear did you describe what you hear exactly?
It was like I think just a cacophony of like various like just shouting, screaming, like it mostly unintelligible.
Yeah, I think that's like kind of like it mixes with the sound of like very loud whispers. And you don't have it doesn't have to be any. I don't think anyone in this room. So I'm going to ask Dave. It is ancient. It is hungry. It is full of pain and anger. Ask someone who feeds the thing in the walls with their emotions and memories, and what happens next.
Taylor is convinced that it's just something that they've kind of carried over from life that they don't remember. They don't know why they do it necessarily. They kind of forgot about it and stuff like that, but it's just a ritual that they've performed so often that it's just kind of become muscle memory at that point. But Taylor doesn't necessarily know why he's doing it, but he goes down and uses his ghost ability, which is he places a powerful prayer of protection over that hole. And I guess the reason...
Protect your holes, everyone.
What was the question specifically?
The question was, who feeds the thing in the walls with their emotions and memories? This could be your thing or it could be something different.
He is technically feeding the walls. This is why he can't remember a lot of things, is because they keep taking them from him whenever he starts to remember something. So it's almost like Taylor, you've seen Taylor kind of lucid before, remembering things.
Are you feeding the memory eater that lives in the lost room?
It might be that, but
that
essentially...
also lives in the walls of this house?
The long and short of it, essentially, is that this house was used for ritualistic cult sacrifices at one point. I'm pretty sure we've come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
With the hole in the
We're dancing
basement, the
around
scary
it.
book, and the essentially what it is it's keeping it's an interesting power well, which Maria actually might be remember, but it's a power well to the outer black, and the reason that it's capped like that with a prayer is because they want to keep the power in the building until they can harvest it at its full potential. But like that's essentially what's happening, is that somehow someone is doing sacrifices and they're feeding this pit in an attempt to kind of make it ripe. And right now it hasn't been fed, I guess, in a little bit is what you're saying. So you start to see shapes and figures inside of it that are starting to kind of come out, but they're still contained by the circle.
You get a token for answering that question. Oh, wow. Yeah, this thing. We should probably get out of here.
I also want to say that Veil is a thing from the outer black that managed to escape once. Because that makes
It doesn't
sense
want to
me.
be here, but it can't go back.
Yeah, it's stuck in the building still, but it managed to escape the circle.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing where like spectrally it is still partially caught in the binding, like protection magic.
Oh, I got, if you're looking for something to do, I wouldn't recommend leaving quite yet. Perhaps you could find something further deeper in. And I'm going to use the move, ask someone to go deeper into the basement and describe what you find. You get a token if you do.
Okay, so deeper in the basement, what are you imagining for that?
I don't, nothing.
Okay, perfect.
A darkness no one has explored yet.
It's like,
Well, I mean, there's a big pit there. I'm just saying.
is it a pit? Okay, okay, I couldn't tell if it was like literally we called it the screening pit. I didn't know if it was a literal like pit.
How deep?
I imagine it's an actual pit.
Okay. Oh,
You wouldn't have said pit otherwise, right?
I actually
This is
imagine
Dave's
that
fault.
I imagine it's actually normally just sigils on the floor like it was originally described, but occasionally is a pit. Only when
Yeah,
it's
okay,
accurate.
Gross. Gross. So it's been
I
a
love that.
pit then,
Yeah.
for this scene at least.
it can be, yeah. Oh, Vale, do you think that's a good idea? Okay.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Like, I think at this point I've like depossessed the robot carrying the book, and I look at him like, is there like spooky magics I can use to? Never mind. I'm just gonna, and then I proceed into the pit to see what I find down there.